We want to turn now to J.P. Morrell, council member at large and vice president of the New Orleans City Council. I want to ask you first, what are you hearing from constituents today? Are they feeling uneasy or unsafe in their city after this attack?
I think what we hear the most is a lot of anger and sadness. Obviously, it was a horrendous event which took place on something that's really seen as kind of the central main street of New Orleans. And a lot of unanswered questions that over the course of this morning, a lot of them have been answered as far as just how this truck was able to get around the secured perimeter and how it was able to get down the road. Now, just because those questions have been answered doesn't mean they've been answered satisfactorily. And obviously, as our governor said, we are going to get to the bottom of what needs to be improved to make improvements upon our safety measures. But it is evident from what I have heard thus far that this was a targeted terrorist attack. It was very well planned. And I expect that as time goes on in the next 24, 72 hours, we're going to get even more information that supports that hypothesis.
As Jesse just referenced at the press conference, you heard the governor asked, is the Sugar Bowl going to be safe? Should people be worried? And he said, well, I'm going to be there. Is that enough to make you confident in that event's safety? And how are you feeling about other major events in the city, Mardi Gras, the Super Bowl, any of these big events that bring so many people in and are always de facto targets for events like this?
Well, I mean, that's just the issue. The issue is that when you look across the nation at soft target potential sites, it's New York, Times Square, it's Mardi Gras in New Orleans, it's all these different open festivals and events we have across the entire nation. I do think right now with the sheer amount of resources, we had a lot of resources beforehand, that is quadrupled in a very short period of time. What I've been telling my constituents and what I tell visitors right now is you're going to have to exercise a whole different level of patience, because when this level of security is ramped up just in the short term, during the investigation, through the Sugar Bowl, through the Super Bowl even, it is going to be a very different New Orleans that you'll be experiencing, because we are going to have to account for all that. There's already conversations happening right now about what we're going to have to do to make Mardi Gras different this year, as far as like how we're going to have to look at parade routes, securing those routes, and the like. So, I mean, yes, I think that there should be concerns, generally speaking, but with the amount of resources that we have at our disposal, especially right now from the state and the federal level, in addition to local parishes, which I'll call counties in this area, we are going to be one of the safest places on earth. And I think what the governor was trying to say in a very short, kind of flippant way is, yes, it's going to be safe. I'm going to be there. And if I didn't think it was safe, I wouldn't go there. And I think that the extra time that's being given is partially to try and close any loose ends, but also because, remember, Bourbon Street, which is that street everyone frequents, that iconic lane in New Orleans, it's also an active crime scene. And the fact is that the FBI, the state and federal, local officials, they're all casing Bourbon Street and collecting every bit of evidence on this case. Bourbon Street would not be available tonight. And there's a tremendous amount of businesses and other groups that are affected. I think delaying this is not just for security, but it's also to hopefully have some of those businesses, maybe, hopefully, if that crime scene is cleared, to potentially recoup the revenue they're hemorrhaging right now. If that's not the case, I mean, it may go beyond then, so be it. But I think that extra time is to cover a variety of different topics and different issues.
I mean, obviously, this is an ongoing and fluid investigation, and law enforcement just told us some things, but, played others close to the vest. What questions do you still want answered most right now about what happened last night?
Well, I mean, there's specific things that stood out to me. The fact that you had this individual rent a vehicle on Turo, which is this kind of unregulated, peer-to-peer rental app. He was able to set up, apparently, and put together his plan in an Airbnb. These are all in themselves kind of like soft targets for tourism and people who are looking to do ill, because had this person rented a car from Hertz and went to a hotel, this never would have gotten this far. There's so many points of interaction where this person might have been uncovered. So I want to see how those different abilities to rent a vehicle, get a property in our city in this quasi kind of legal way, are these other loopholes that have to be closed across the nation? Because if Airbnbs are now the places you can go to to set up and do these kind of things, then we got to relook at Airbnbs too.
All right, JP Morrell, council member at large and vice president of the New Orleans City Council. Thank you for joining us.